Hey, boss. The party's full swing out here if you want to come join us.
No thanks, Matt. Christmas is just another holiday to me. Reason for a few days off.
Well, so you work too hard. Well, I also wanted to come in here and talk to you. Thank you for that promotion you gave me a while back. It's really been helpful in everything, and I've always wanted to excel in everything I did. My dad taught me that making money was the thing that counted most in life.
Now you're talking, Matt. You know, I've been trying to teach Jennifer that same thing, and I really thought I was succeeding until she dropped a bombshell on me at breakfast this morning and said she wanted to go to some mission field instead of attending Stanford. Well, at least she's shown some sense in her relationship with you. I was hoping to hear some good news from you this Christmas. Sit down. You got anything you want to talk to me about?
Well, I was going to talk to you, but you mean Jen really hasn't said anything to you?
About what?
She broke things off with me not too long ago.
She did what? I didn't think this could get any worse.
Sorry, sir. I thought she would have told you.
What was her reason?
She said she couldn't date me because I wasn't a Christian. Something about it saying so in the Bible.
Ugh, I'm sick and tired of hearing about church and the Bible.
Trust me, I know exactly how you feel. I keep telling her, trying to talk her out of it, trying to tell her how she can't throw her life away on some whim of emotion that she felt at church.
My wife and daughter have gone overboard with this whole church thing. Jennifer's letting it ruin the things that matter most in life. First, a good college education, and now you. I've been very impressed with your work ethic and your desire to get to the top. I knew your relationship with her was heading toward marriage, and I was glad to see it. But now she's letting some wacky church persuade her to ruin her life.
Well, maybe you can change your mind. I know how she highly respects you as her dad, and how she always wants to please you.
I've invested too much in my little girl to let some wacky church people persuade her to ruin her life. I'm not losing this battle without a fight.
Well, I sure hope you can change your mind. She's really obstinate about the salvation thing.
Don't worry. I'll change your mind.
Well, I'm going to get going. I'm going to get back out to the party. If you want to join us, come on later. But if I don't see you before Christmas, have a good one, sir.
You too. Hey, Sophia, can you come in here for a second? Here are the notes on the Hunt Me account I'd like you to enter. You can put them on until after Christmas if you want to.
Okay.
Say, why aren't you out there at the party with all the rest of them?
You know I like to party, sir. I can party with the festival. But some of them are talking me into being a designated driver. I have to get some work done for the holidays anyway.
Say, are you going to spend Christmas with your mom and dad this year? You know, your dad really does an excellent job with these offices.
I'd really rather not talk about my dad, Mr. Taylor. It's embarrassing to know that my father is the maintenance man and janitor right here where I work every day. And all of my coworkers know that.
Well, I'm sure he's thankful to have a job. We're pretty glad to have him, being he's a hard worker and all. It's kind of hard to come by these days.
Sure.
Say, doesn't he attend the same church as my wife and daughter?
Yeah? Guess so. I have not kept tabs on their church attendance lately, though.
I knew you were raised in church. I take it you don't adhere to the beliefs anymore.
Definitely not. I was raised in a Christian home, but that's not my beliefs anymore. I got tired of living life by rules, and more rules. If it works for your wife and my parents, that's fine with me. But I can't stand living life by you can't do this and you can't do that. I'm my own person. I know what makes me happy. I'm married to the greatest guy I ever met. I have a few kids. What more could I want? But for spending Christmas with my family, I probably will. I don't want to spend the whole day listening to them drop hints at how wrong they think I am according to them in their Bible. I'm sorry.
Never mind. Living life how you want is certainly your choice. You're an adult, and no matter how you were raised, you make your decisions, not some church full of holier-than-thou saints trying to make them for you.
I know. My parents keep telling me, you need to get back to the Lord to be ready
Jesus coming back today. Please spare me.
I hear you. I've sat under enough Sunday school teachers and preachers for the first 18 years of my life that I could quote you countless of verses from the Bible. But I made my choice when I left home, and I don't want that anymore. I know what makes me happy. I'm a good person. What more do I want but to live and to please myself? I just want to do what I want once in a while.
Well, you stand your ground, and you don't let anybody push you into decisions that you'll regret later. Like I said, you can put those on until next week.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Taylor. I think that I'll join the party. Happy holiday.
John, you can tell your wife these are delicious. But on a serious note, don't you think we should probably try to turn that party down? It's getting a little wild out there.
Oh, come on, Rich. Let them have their fun. You know we're a bunch of slave drivers the rest of the year.
Yeah, I know, but all that liquor just
What's
doesn't
making
seem
this
necessary.
Christmas so much different than every other Christmas? You've never said anything about it before. Oh, I know exactly what it is. It's that breakfast conversation with your wife. It's getting to you, isn't it?
Of course not. Well, actually, it has got me thinking. My wife's an amazingly different woman than when I met her 18 years ago. Her religion has sure made a difference in the way she treats me. I know that for sure. Why? She treats me just like a king.
Oh, come on, Seth. And you're getting almost as soft in the head as you are around the middle.
Yeah. My wife says I'm getting under conviction, whatever that's supposed to mean. All I know is I sure have been miserable here lately.
I know. They had you feeling bad because you won't give in and go to church and accept Jesus. And you know what? I think you're falling for it.
Well, maybe a little religion wouldn't hurt either one of us, you know. But honestly, I have been doing a lot of contemplation and stuff about it. I need some kind of reformation in my life. I'm feeling the need to turn over a new leaf, you know. I'm not getting any younger.
Wow, Rich. They really are getting under your skin, aren't they? You know they're just putting a guilt trip on you. I overheard them talking the other day about how they won't give in and they won't give up. They'll keep praying until we go to church and we get saved. If that's not a guilt trip, then I don't know what is.
Well, I'm not willing to just give in and say that my wife and yours are entirely right, but I can't deny the change that's been made in their lives. You know, the way they live. But I am a good man. I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I don't cheat on my wife. But sometimes it just doesn't feel like that's enough. My wife says it's not. She says I'm supposed to confess my sins and ask Jesus to forgive me. Forgive me for what? Being an average guy?
Well, I look at it this way. If I don't want that kind of life, then don't try and make me feel guilty. I watch people get saved for all kinds of reasons. To get on the good side of the pastor, or to appease their guilty conscience, or to make people think they were better than they really were. But I don't need saving. I'm a good husband. I provide everything Leah has need of. A nice house, a new car, every comfort she could want. I'm faithful to her, and I always have been. What do I need saved from?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but it feels like we're missing something, you know? They're so happy, content, and peaceful.
Well, you just keep thinking that, and you see where it gets you. Nowhere. If we're ever going to get anywhere in this life, it's going to be by our own efforts, not by anybody else's.
I said I don't want any. Mr. Taylor, sir. You mind if I go home? That party out there well, I just don't feel comfortable with all that sin that's going on out there.
Was that right, Bob? I forgot, you're one of those do-gooders from the same church as my wife and daughter, aren't you? Does that partying offend you, Bob?
Well, of course, it offends me. I am an usher and a greeter at my church. And I sure wouldn't want anybody thinking that I'm participating in that. You understand, Mr. Taylor?
Oh, yes, Bob, I understand perfectly.
But don't get me wrong. I let my light shine no matter where I am. And especially here in this worldly atmosphere. People don't realize what I do at the church. You see, I am an usher and a greeter, and I sure don't drink or smoke or swear like anybody in there. I just don't think that you could find anything wrong with my Christian example.
You know what, Bob? I've heard about your Christian example, and I've been meaning to talk to you about it. Because it seems like you're using a whole lot of company time to discuss religion with the guys instead of working.
You see, Mr. Taylor, the Bible says that we will have enemies of the cross making trouble for us. You see, my coworkers don't like me, and they don't like my testimony, because it shows them just how sinful they are in comparison.
Yeah, that's what they don't like.
Is that right, Bob? Well, you know what? Let us hear your Christ-like testimony right now.
Really?
Sure.
Right now?
Go ahead.
Well, it's just the simple gospel of salvation. You see, the Holy Spirit convicts man of sinfulness, and he feels some alienation or simply separated from God. And that's probably how you do feel right now as a wicked sinner. However, Jesus gave himself on as his passion on the cross for propitiation for your sin. He was incarnated just for this purpose. Just think, he condescended just for you. And all you have to do is give your heart life to him, and you'll become justified in the mind of God, adopted as his son, regenerated in the new birth, and you'll become justified and sanctified from the world through the gospel for his use. And then Jesus will live his life in you. Would you like to do that, Mr. Taylor?
You know what, Bob?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand the thing you just said? My wife goes to the same church you go to and professes to know the same Jesus that you profess to know, but I have never heard her spout off what you just did. That was anything but simple.
Well, Mr. Taylor, I have studied the Bible extensively. And if you would like, I'll make it simple for you.
No, Bob, that'll be okay. I've heard your testimony loud and clear. Now let me tell you a little bit about your Jesus.
Really? You are going to tell me about my Jesus.
Yeah. First of all, I've seen how Jesus doesn't like to work or carry his own load. You know where I got that? Your testimony.
If you did, I don't see how, Mr. Taylor.
Really? You want to know what else, Bob? Jesus must be lazy. Because I heard you one day say that Jesus lived in you, and that whatever you done was Jesus working through you. And you, Bob Wilson, always cut corners, always blaming somebody else for your work that doesn't get done. You never thought I was observing your Christian example now, did you? What about those 45-minute lunch breaks that were only supposed to be 30? And I've heard on not one, not two, not even just three, but on several occasions that you gossiped about your coworkers and you tried to stir up trouble among them. Now, is that how your Jesus is, Bob? Because if it is, then I don't want him.
Mr. Taylor, I just think you have it all wrong here.
Do I, Bob? Then prove it to me. Why don't you watch a real Christian for a little while? Take Howard the maintenance man, for instance.
Howard, the janitor?
Yeah, you won't find a more Christ-like man for miles around. Now, if there really was a Jesus, that's who I'd imagine him to be like.
Mr. Taylor, this kind of straight and narrow